Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Veera. I'm from Singapore and I run a company called Sustainable Living Lab. So my background, I'm a mechanical engineer from NUS. I did a year at Stanford, and today I'm a co-chair for the Climate Action Singapore Alliance, and also am a committee member of the Technology Trade Association in Singapore. In the first part of my career, I spent at the Center for Strategic Futures, where we basically looked at what Singapore as a country will face 15 to 20 years from now. And it quickly emerged that sustainability is a wicked problem that we need to solve. And it's going to be an enduring problem. I think all of you already know this, right? So I started a company called Sustainable Living Lab, which is a sustainability consultancy 14 years ago when this space wasn't really hot. And we've ended up working with some of the world's largest companies. Effectively, to put it very simply, many of these companies outsource the sustainability activities and departments to my organization. And in the course of that, we participate in many kinds of work, helping them with corporate sustainability, developing software, even advising policy. We managed to pass laws in certain countries on extended producer responsibility acts, including repair and so on. So we have a team of 80 people working in about 30 countries, working on problems that span the range of things. And most recently, the work that we did got awarded as the 2023 SDG Pioneer by the United Nations Global Compact. So, thank you. But what I want to share with you is what we have noticed along that work, right? So in 14 years, a bunch of things we noticed, right? First thing is that the climate mitigation, despite whatever we're doing, the time lag between mitigation and actual results is about 10 years. And that's at best case, right? And the fact is that we're not actually anywhere on track for less than 1.5 C temperature increase. In fact, we're more like on a 3.5 to 4 degree temperature increase, which also means that every single climate impact story we are hearing today is going to get a lot worse, right? I always hate to do this, right? Because every environmentalist who comes here always gives you bad news, right? And you get a disproportionate impact on equatorial belt countries, and particularly in Asia. India, China, Southeast Asia will have a particularly strong impact. So climate adaptation is important, right? And it's long been seen as the responsibility of governments to do. But in Asia, many governments are actually not very well equipped to deal with these things. So we look to private sector. What's private sector doing? So if you notice at the bottom right-hand corner, that's the net contribution of private sector to climate adaptation. It's minuscule, right? Compared to how much countries actually spend. So in terms of addressable adaptation challenges, right, there are particularly three areas that are important. Adaptation is a huge topic, right? So we look at heat stress, right? When you find temperatures increase, basically, people who are aging will suffer from more health conditions. Everything will exacerbate, right? You also have more floods and storms happening, and this basically wipes out livelihoods, wipes out housing. And you also have wildfires, which I don't need to tell you, you're in California over here, you've seen firsthand what the effects of that are. So one of the things we discovered is that asset owners today, clients that we work with, basically 2 months in a year, their factories are shut down. They cannot operate because of the fact that they're unable to, they have climatic impacts and not able to operate. Now, the interesting thing is that asset owners actually are willing to pay for solutions. We know they're willing to pay because they're willing to pay for commercial insurance. So there's the money to pay. So it's time to shift the conversation from governments doing adaptation to asset owners doing it. And so what we've been working with is commercial property owners, manufacturing plants, special economic zone developers, and warehouse owners on how to create an end-to-end solution for climate adaptation. So what we decided to do is actually start a venture studio. And the reason venture studio is actually quite simple. All these companies need to be built quickly. In fact, need to be built yesterday. And if we do company by company, one by one, we're not going to get it done all in time. So hence the venture studio approach. So what does end-to-end solutions mean? It basically means solutions that help companies to either warn them of climate impacts before they arrive, protect them against flood storms and those things, and also help them rebuild from the disasters that may affect them. So from a model standpoint, right, essentially what we are coming in with, having spent all this time in this space, is basically we have the initial customers, the market access, as well as the funding for scale and distribution of these solutions. And what we work with is licensed intellectual property. And I say this because I'm in a university over here. We work with many universities to basically license relevant IP and also work with those who want to be founders in this space as well. ultimate goal is to form a network of companies that offer end-to-end solutions for climate adaptations, particularly asset owners. So we're not the only ones seeing these opportunities. Many others are seeing it as well. And so I will leave you with a call that we're looking for partners for IP sharing and also founders who would like to join us in this journey. Thank you so much.